So let's begin uh, with Polisol, right? As a great song that represents not only the security fraternity of the Gambia, but then the Gambia in general. The Polisol song of Nyancho, right? Today, we have seen how the police has embraced this, and then they toast and vibe with this song anytime they have their activities. You've seen the video that I've shared, Nyancho himself, right, with a lot of people when the police were having their occasion, the graduation of some security officers that have just done, their training, and then they've been confirmed as well-trained security officers. You've seen that the euphoria of the police have been so much colorful and happy around what? The Polisol hit single by Nyancho Apachaki. So, many a times you would have heard somebody spewed or asked how were they able to formulate, right, or to make such a grandiose hit single that would be in its peak as an evergreen song for enough time, right, for eternity, for the rest of the world. The Polisol will never fade because it is a song, right, that is so peaked, meaningful, right, and sensible. So there is no way that an evergreen song like the Polisol would definitely lose its seat, right? So we should delve into how everything started, right? When I came first as Nyancho's manager in 2020, obviously he has a vision, right? And then his vision at the time was to compose an album after being in the sector for a decade or more than a decade. He has never composed an album. So he's been for so long working on an album, and then it would be very much prudent for me to see his vision and also to harness it, because one of your responsibilities as an artist manager or a manager of any entity is to see the vision of that entity, understand it, and then work around it. That's exactly what I did. So by then, the album has not been titled Polisol. So we went to the police headquarters. I think this was in 2021 December, around the end of December, because the SSO that we were staging in Brikama, it was in 2020 around December. So we went to the police headquarters to look for clearance, because at the time, right, clearance permit to stage a concert at Brikama Box, but at the time, the wave of Corona has not been subsided. So the lockdown was still effective, if I could remember. So we got down there to get a permit for us to be able to stage a show in Brikama Box Bar. And that was the same year we established the Nyancho Central, which was based in Brikama. So we got down there, and then as we were seated, myself and Nyancho, waiting for the officer in charge to get us our permit, I have seen the interaction of Nyancho with so many security officials, male and female, who were passing by, and then almost all of them, in any time they are, as they pass by to their office or going out to get whatever from anywhere, they would, interact with Nyancho, greet him so nice, praise him so well, talk about his projects, talk about his capacity as the Gambia's only complete artist, the singer, the dancer, the choreographer, the rapper. I mean, a great entertainer. So I've sat down there, watched, the police, right, interacted with Apachaki. And I understand very well that Nyancho has most of his fans, right, in the police fraternity. In fact, before we got down to the police headquarters, one of my responsibilities also as a proactive manager was to conduct sort of a assessment research to see the fan base of Nyancho, right? The composition of his fan base. Now, which of the works of life organizations would you find most of the fans of Nyancho? Now, my need assessment report, right, has given me that most of his fans are in the security fraternity here with me, the police, the military, right? The paramedics, right? The fire service, the security fraternity in general. So we sat down there. I've been somewhat observant, his interaction with these people. So as we were chit-chatting, right, regarding the different approaches by police officers. And I told him, look, Nyancho, I think the album that we are working on should be called Polisol. Yeah, that should be the title of the album. Straight. And he said, why Polisol? So by extension, I told him, you said you were born at Fajara Military Barracks. Your grandfather, Papa, was in the police band. In fact, he definitely rose through the ranks and then got a bigger reputation, a recommendation, by those officers that he was working with before his demise. Now, your dad is still serving the police. Most of your family members are still in the security services of the Gambia. They are still serving the state. So I feel if you look at your birth history, yes, you are all about and around police work. If you look at your fan euphoria or your fan base, you are all about the police work. Now, if you also look at what the theory of order or the science of order, right, in the security fraternity, police form an organization where, right, discipline is the case, where human beings, right, are living or surviving by virtue of command and order. In fact, the police organization is the most disciplined organization in any society. Again, these are people that are so much sacrificing for our country. We will be inside our rooms when the police will be out there, under the sun and under the rains. Whether it is cold or hot, the police wouldn't consider. You will find the traffic officer or traffic, be the male and female, standing right there, right on top of the road, being of service, right, to his or her country. That is utmost dedication. That is loyalty, right, to one's country. So I look into all these reasons, and it compelled me to still hold on ground that the album must be entitled Polisol. So I put this to Nyancho, he understood very well. So he said from here, it will be prudent for us to organize a meeting, and we did so. So from the police headquarters where we got the clearance, we got down there, and I called a meeting, a management meeting, to tell them, look, I have proposed this to Nyancho, that the album will be called Polisol, and there will be a track called Polisol, which we have to start working on. I will say 3/4 of the management team, did not subscribe to my channel. They did not buy the idea because they are also looking into the track record of the security fraternity, the track record of the police, because, these were times when the impasse wasn't that much far. The transition has occurred, right? The coming of Adam Barrow. Even at that, we've seen where police had, incidents, several awkward incidents with citizens in Banjul and other places. So, the country wasn't that 100% stable, right? And then there was every tainted aspect, around the police, or the paramilitary regarding their dealings with citizens of the Gambia. So, there are a lot of profiles, right? Evidences of police brutality. So, some management team members did not concur with me. So we took out the flyer, and then by extension we invited some of the prominent promoters in the Gambia to a meeting to declare Nyancho's Polisol album to them, and also to seek for their service proposal so that we can work with them ahead of the Polisol launch event. So when we called these promoters to a meeting, most of them also boycotted. They did not, honor our invitation because they were not comfortable about the Polisol thing. A lot of them did not understand, even though the flyer was out. So when a few of them that came, I still told them why, we had to frame the album, right? We had to give it a title, Polisol, and then why, in fact, are we coming up with a song called Polisol? But then even the few the few promoters that came, they still did not buy the idea. They had to tell me, DJobs, I hope you know exactly what you are doing. You have to be very careful because this is a country where most of the young people are not happy about the police. But again, my argument have been centered on one thing, that it's our responsibility as citizens to let our fellow citizens understand very well the responsibilities of the police and also community policing. Now, this is a major approach, right, by the police. I must convey my sincere regards to the former PRO Lamin Jai. He's been very supportive during the process of the Polisol hit single production. So I told these people our duty as creatives is to take it upon ourselves, engage our artists, be involved in projects where we will be able to engage the public to understand the importance of public or community policing. And if you look at my outro in the Polisol song, my podium speech, I did mention this, that it is against this backdrop that Nyancho, aka Apataki, is amplifying his voice for discussions on the importance of community or public policing. To all men and women in loyal service for our country, this is called Jamba Saluto from Nyancho, aka Apataki. So, that's how it is. Our duty is to let the public understand that public policing is important and the public must be engaged. And there comes again a philosophy. The public is the police and the police is the public. So if that forms a composition of the public. That is what we call citizens' charter in government. Now, right, on that charter, our responsibility as citizens would be to strengthen ties with authorities like the police, because this is one organization that maintains what law and order. I did mention their commitment, their sacrifice, their dedication to duty. So it's very obvious that we should collaborate with the police. And in collaborating with the police, they should not be seen as enemies, but what? Partners in development, right? We should be so much free and comfortable to interact with the police, to be with them in their activities. And then it so happened, at the time we were working on the Polisol song, the police had the Polisol magazine, right? They also had their activity, which is the countrywide sensitization tour on public comprehensions, teachings around public policing or community policing. So basically, our project came at a time when the police were so much in their need for such partnerships where Gambian thespians can come, join forces with the police to super engage the community, right? To enlighten the people of the Gambia about the importance of community or public policing. So the Polisol project came at that time. Lamin Njai, who is also one of my earlier team contemporaries, the former PRO of police, he was so much supportive because he understands the dynamics of public policing, and then the role of sector players like us, in making sure that the public understands what public policing is all about. So we delve into, yes, the meetings, like I said, we delve into engaging other people, we delve into explaining to them the ideology, the concept of the Polisol. Yes, so the conceptualist of the Polisol song, yes, is myself. And like I said, when I put it in Nyancho and management, I had to bring out several reasons why I said the album should be entitled Polisol and why we should compose a song called Polisol. But then, like I said, some concurred with me, but some did not. Now, for some, before they can understand better what I was trying to put across with Nyancho, the Polisol song, right, and visuals was already there. Now, when they saw the visuals and then they had the song from starting to end, that was the time they understand, wow, this was what DJobs was trying to tell us. Now, they were all able to be succumbed to everything that we had planned around Polisol, and then they decided to echo similar sentiments with me by telling me, boy, DJobs, this is the biggest song ever in this country. We did not understand that this was what you were planning with Nyancho until when the song was released. In fact, before the release of the song, the little whatever snippet or teaser, in fact, informally, that I did with Nyancho, it wasn't meant to go viral. We did that in the studios of J Life at the time, so it was just a short, I think, 2 minutes video that I did with Nyancho inside his vehicle, and then we put it right there. That video was what the police fraternity, in fact, took and then put it on the platform of the police. Now, instead of us seeking for audience, right, to see the IGP, it was the police that, in fact, called upon us, to meet the PRO and his team, and then later on, the IGP. So that shows how impressive the police were, and up till this very moment, about the Polisol song composed by Nyancho. In fact, based on our findings conducted, there has not been any song like the Polisol. I mean, a craft that is dedicated to people whose responsibilities are to maintain law and order in any country. In fact, across the globe, there has not been any thespian who has ever released a song for the security officers, right, of any country, right, be it in the Gambia or elsewhere. So Nyancho happens to be the first ever, Gambian thespian to do this, not only in the Gambia but even in the sub-region. So back to the concept,